Footballers earn reputation and fame through their performances on the field. The popularity that they earn has its pros and cons, though. Like the French philosopher Voltaire quoted, "With great power comes great responsibility. A wrong answer to the media can haunt them for days to follow. Anything they say or do will be used against them." So, how many footballers have made fools out of themselves? For example, French footballer Charles Nzogbia had to attend his driving test, but he was not prepared for the theory part of it. The player found a way out to skip this part, as he paid someone else to sit the theory part of his driving test. Nzogbia was lucky to find a person to replace him, but he was not lucky enough to escape the law. The winger was arrested by the police when he turned up to do the practical part of his examination at the Sale Driving Test Center in April 2010. For any candidate, the maximum sentence for making someone else attend a driving test is 5 years in prison. But the police decided to go easy on him, giving the French footballer just a caution. Being a substitute doesn't work with the DVLA, buddy. The majority of footballers like David Beckham, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Lionel Messi have lots of tattoos on their bodies. However, standing as a rarity is English footballer Nile Ranger. He wanted to try something out of the box, and his attempt resulted in the former Newcastle United player looking like a laughingstock. In 2013, Nile Ranger chose to tattoo his own name on his forehead. Instead of compliments, the footballer was trolled for his lack of taste and creativity. It became a big joke in social networking sites, but for the football fans, this didn't come as a big surprise. Ranger had already showcased his intelligence long back when he got a smiley face tattooed on the inside of his lip. But weird tattoo choices are nothing compared to Ashley Cole's dumb choices in 2011, where he was having a good time playing around with his high-powered .22 air rifle at Chelsea's training ground, until he accidentally fired it at a student who was just 5 feet away. The student was injured and was given medical treatment right away. Cole later said that he didn't know the gun was loaded. However, this doesn't negate the scary fact that the student would have become history if he had aimed it right. When Chelsea told Cole to work on his shooting, he definitely took that literal. Ashley Cole is not the first footballer to have larked about with an air rifle, as if it was a toy that means no harm. Football legend Diego Maradona did something similar, if not more dangerous. Like a gangster, he fired at photographers and journalists with an air rifle outside his Buenos Aires country home in 1994. The shocking TV footage of the incident shows Maradona, who was found guilty of assault with a weapon, crouched behind a Mercedes and 2 other men, firing a compressed air rifle for invading his privacy. Maradona was handed a suspended sentence for his reckless and dangerous behavior. Sometimes you wonder what goes through their minds, like Mario Balotelli and his friends decided to set fireworks off in his bathroom, which caused the house to catch fire. The landlord later billed him approximately $400,000 for the damages. This was not his only brush with fireworks. He was also reportedly involved in a firework incident at a friend's house and, more recently, was filmed setting off a firework in a dressing room. Don't play with fireworks, kids. This one has to be one of the funniest, dumbest things a footballer has done. In 2007, former footballer Glenn Johnson was caught attempting to steal a toilet seat and taps from a B&Q store. Both players were issued $80 on-the-spot fines by police. Johnson also received nicknames like Toilet Seat Thief from teammates and was the subject of media attention. Imagine the headlines, "Johnson's steal of the season came from the bathroom aisle." Patrice Evra was caught on camera wiping his backside and then sniffing it with a French national team teammate's jersey while sitting on the substitute's bench during a match. The incident occurred during an international friendly match against Serbia. The shirt belonged to Mathieu Valbuena. The gesture caused significant outrage among French fans and media, who viewed it as a lack of respect for the national team's colors and all they represent. However, sources indicate that it was likely a light-hearted moment of banter, with players like Frank Ribery and Karim Benzema reportedly finding it amusing at the time. Banter or not your on-TV mate, there's only one backside pass you should be focusing on, and that's not it. Party animal. Diego Edmundo had poor discipline and off-field antics, which often landed Edmundo in the headlines during his playing career, which consisted of spells in Japan, Italy, and his native Brazil. Nicknamed the Animal, Edmundo's bonkers behavior included punching opponents and getting animals drunk. The latter occurred at his son's first birthday when he gave a chimp named Pedrinho a beer. He was also seen handing the chimpanzee a bottle of whiskey, much to the anger of animal rights campaigners in Brazil, who went public with their criticism of Edmundo's behavior. He later shared a pint with the monkey as they appeared on the cover of FHM. The retired forward's intense party lifestyle and on-field antics made him a cult hero prior to his retirement. Edmundo was also sentenced to 4.5 years in prison after being convicted of culpable homicide. The conviction came after he had been behind the wheel of a Jeep Cherokee that collided with a Fiat in December 1995. The crash killed 3 people, including his passenger, a young woman. Despite being sentenced to 4.5 years in prison, appeals meant Edmundo barely spent any time in jail. And that's it. From fireworks to toilet seats, these guys proved money doesn't buy common sense. Smash that like button, subscribe for more football foolishness, and remember, stay smart. Or at least smarter than these lot.